All right, so we got Mihu spawning here in the bottom left, and his opponent on the top right here on Eclipse is going to be Zhanhun. So this is going to be pretty much two of the best Chinese players. I feel like going head to head here.
Yeah, there is this trio. There is a third player as well.
Joshua,
Yeah, Xiao Shuai. Yeah, that one. He's pretty good as well. I don't really know if he's better than Zhanhun or Mihu right now, but yeah, there is this big trio in China that. Funny enough, there is one for each race. How cool is that?
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I actually like that a lot. That you just have a just kind of like a known like best player more or less in China for each race. I think that's pretty cool.
I think the foreigner scene we never had this big trio of like high skill players. There has always been like a dominant guy, like a Serb dominant or a Protoss dominant. Actually, there is never been, I feel like, a Terran dominant.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty interesting thing here for me. He just kind of assumed the gas deal was coming. He went for, I think this was a 10 racks. I didn't quite see the timing of it, but a little bit earlier of a racks than you would normally get. He had started it before the depot was even finished, so yeah, we definitely cut an SCV or two potentially to get this faster barracks out. So it definitely wants those Marines out as quickly as possible. But it's not going to be a proxy gate or anything like that. It's just going to be the one Ford gate. So he should be able to hold this with just the one barracks as well by doing this. Pretty easily, actually. I kind of like this from Mihu. Now, if he doesn't get gas stolen or zealot pressured, I hate it. But in this case, I think it's going to work out in his favor.
I'm having flashbacks of the game against QiaoGege that, yeah, it was pretty much the same positions and the same situation. But I wonder if he is going to make the engineering bay this time.
Yeah, did he do an early barracks in that as well? I like the eBay block here. This is actually pretty nice because Zhanhun just going for the one zealot expand build with the no gas, so this will delay the Nexus a little bit. It's not going to be like the biggest deal, but it is going to be a little bit that adds up.
Oh yeah, now I remember you missed the early game of that series.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But there is some kind of like pressure here. He's sending the Marines.
Yeah, he's actually sending the 3 Marines across the map, which is interesting. I mean, with good micro, the 3 Marines. Okay, it's just going to position them out here forward a little bit. I'm wondering. I guess we cut Marines here at 4. So he wants to skip the bunker. That's part of what he's doing here. And I think he's going to be allowed to do that because he sees with the SCV it's only 1 zealot so far. He sees it at staying home. So he's going to be able to skip the bunker, which is nice for him. His CC timing barely even behind Zhanhun's Nexus timing. So I feel like this early game has gone really, really well for Mihu so far.
Well, so far so good for Mihu.
Yeah, he did make this bunker.
Well from that gas stolen.
Yeah. I think he made this bunker because he saw the second zealot. I think that's why we made this bunker, and I think that is going to be the correct call here. I think you have to respect the second zealot coming out, but he delayed it for as long as he could, so that alone was decent for him.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see an early tier Nexus like it happened in the first game between Mihu and QiaoGege, or Zhanhun is going to do a different approach, maybe a fast robotic. Actually, it is a city.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
I didn't see that coming. DT?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be DT. I can't imagine it's going to be anything else. I mean, it could be 2-base Arbiter. It could be, but surely not, right? I imagine this will be DT.
I mean, at this fast, come on, man. Do you want to have an Arbiter at 7 minutes or what?
Actually, yeah, he doesn't even have the gas for it anyway, so it is just going to be that DT.
That's saying Mihu is the kind of player that never miss a turret. He always plays so safe in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, the eBay timing's pretty much perfect for what he's up against, so he's not going to take any damage. It is at least going to get Zhanhun map control, and
Yeah.
it'll prevent any early pushes from Mihu. So I think DTs against someone that likes to play aggressive can be really good because they can't push before scans.
Yeah. I mean, you could do like some crazy stuff like 4 DTs bust. And maybe, you know, I have seen Protoss doing that.
It
Sometimes
is a
it
thing.
works.
Yeah, sometimes you can just dive the turret. Like you'll see sometimes they'll make like 4 goons and then like 2 or 3 DTs and just right click the turret and win the game. Like it does happen sometimes. For that reason, anytime I suspect DT, I always make a safety turret in the back, or I'll make it on the ramp as well, or something like that. I have both lost and won games by right-clicking turrets with DTs.
Well, the turret is ready. This DT is most likely not doing anything.
Yeah, it's going to be used just for map control at this point.
Something
And it does look like he
would
wants
be
to
just wait him to go out like this and run by.
Yeah, actually that's really smart because he's going to have one DT to defend anyway. And if this goes straight into the main, or the turret even, yeah, the turret actually would have been a fantastic call. And yeah, now we see the turrets coming down. This is a great play from from Zhanhun. Gonna disrupt Mihu quite a bit. Target down this turret. Gonna be able to kill a couple SCVs and disrupt them a little bit. It's not gonna get any crazy damage, but any damage is good damage at this point. This is great from Mihu. Even targeting down the mines.
Oh yeah, we went from having some DTs that are probably a waste to now some DTs that are doing a good amount of damage, and it's going to give so much freedom to Zhanhun. Now he can spend and just like be safe because there is no scan, there is no.
Oh. Does get at least the one last
It's
SCV
still good.
kill.
It's still
Yeah.
pretty good.
And there's the Arbiter behind it as well.
You know what?
Pretty.
You were right about the fast arbiter, 7 minutes arbiter. Holy.
Yeah, a lot of times when you see DTs, it's into Arbiter. Like, anytime you get DT pressured, you can almost assume that Arbiters are behind it because you already have so much of the tech ready. But yeah, that was good. That DT got a lot of value. Killed several units, killed several SCVs, disrupted Mihu quite a bit, forced some turrets.
Yeah, just by doing this DT opening, Mihu can't really push the tier base anymore.
Exactly.
Or at least not that quick, like he was doing against QiaoGege.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because he's going to need to bank scans because he has to respect the threat of DT and use scans for it. But then you also need the scans for the Arbiter that's going to be behind it as well, so it just gets very hard to push.
Work by that DT, man. Some good work. Force scans, cancel the turret, armies, delay the turret, kill Paździors, clean mines. That is honestly a very good value for.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Zhanhun's in a pretty strong looking position. Got that third base up and coming that Arbiter is going to be finishing relatively soon. Looks like Mihu is going to go for a bit of a push. But I don't...
It's typical how Mihu is still committing to this. I thought there was no way he was doing this timing.
Yeah, to me this makes no sense. Mihu might show me something. There's no way we're going to have enough scans to do this push. He might have 2 scans, I'd imagine. And there, the first one's going to come down, so Zhanhun can just back up. We don't have legs yet on our Zealots. I mean, if Mihu can get forward enough to get some turrets down, then maybe. And yeah, there comes the next scan. I mean, he is at least pressuring Zhanhun, if nothing else. There's the Unsiege, and I think we're going to back up. Yeah, okay. This makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because we just cannot keep going.
Yes, no more scans. I imagine that tier command center is going to be delayed as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see Mihu taking his third base now. He's going to be dropping it just now as this Arbiter comes forward, but that Arbiter is going to be banking energy. I may go for a Stasis Bus in the near future. Typically you want, you know, at least 2 Stasis before you do something like that, though.
Speaking about recall, it's been so long since I saw a recall in PvT.
Yeah. Yeah, higher level players don't like to go for recalls because if it gets defended, you can just insta lose the game, right? You may recall on a bunch of mines or something and the game just ends. And there goes a free observer. Nice little donation there from Zhanhun. That being said, the third base is a bit vulnerable to a recall currently, but again, the issue is if you don't have observers there, spotting mines is just so dangerous to go for.
Yeah, but, honestly, I don't really like the idea of recalling the tier expansion.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be suicide to the units, no?
To go into the third, you mean? Yeah, like right now without the units nearby, it wouldn't be great. It'd be good if you had storms and you could storm on the ramp potentially, but without any storms, yeah, I think a recall on third would be pretty bad here. I was just thinking about like maybe an opportunity, like where it's even possible. We got a bunch of turrets going on at the natural. The main, I mean, he could fly into the main. If he gets into the main, potentially, it looks like there's not much of a setup, but again, the issue is for Zhanhun that you don't know. You don't know if there's lines everywhere or not.
You get into the main right now, and it's going to make it very chaotic for Mihu.
Yeah. Yeah, most likely he'll just keep banking energy and go for stasis, though. I actually don't... Sorry, go ahead.
The amount of units that right now that I see, can we see an attack right now?
From Zhanhun or Mihu?
No, from Protoss.
He could. It's a little bit hard because Mihu's already pre-set up and he's got a good... I imagine he's got a good spread on the tanks right now. So attacking into it's not great. I'd like to see Zhanhun potentially start working towards carrier attack. Carrier's pretty good on this map, and Arbiters actually are notoriously bad on this map because it is very easy for Terran to defend recall.
I honestly think he's not going to get a better opportunity to attack than this.
But attacking into that looks so hard for Zhanhun, though.
But he has a stasis.
Yeah, well, it looks like he is going to go for it. We have at least 2 stasis here, maybe 1 on the other one as well. We'll see what we get. There's 3 tanks on that stasis, which is great. 2 more tanks with stasis.
The vultures. Oh, I guess he's blocking the way.
Yeah, this will open up an opportunity for him to go into the third. But here come a bunch of reinforcing tanks from Mihu, and you kind of see the supply now evening up with this attack. Is going to dislodge his third temporarily, though. And going to be able to clear up all these mines at least. That CC looks like it should be able to get away, and we're just going to sit back here with these Arbiters. But we do have the vessel here to spot. And Mihu is going to defend this and be able to retake his third. But Zhanhun does stop the third base mining while taking his own fourth, so I feel like it's okay for him, but he did lose a lot of units for very little kills.
Well, if I have to say something positive, is that they were like mostly silos. So it's like just minerals.
Yeah, and he did retain the Arbiters, which is a really important thing too. Another Arbiter went down. And looks like he's just going to continue the Arbiter tech here and start working towards the 5th base now. The part that scares me is that Mihu didn't really lose any tanks at all. So I'm worried about the potential push timing from Mihu. Now, his eco did get disrupted, and he's going to have to take a 4th base from here because his main and natural are going to be mining out in the next like 3-4 minutes or so. So he's on a little bit of a timer as far as that. Actually, maybe it's mining out sooner. I'll take that back.
That is true. Like, it would have been ideal for him to reduce the siege time number. You don't really want the Terran to just walk over you with like 20 tanks.
We have a Zealot. Okay, there we go. Kind of trolling Zhanhun a little bit there. And yeah, you see in the supply, like now I'm getting a little bit scared because the supply is getting close enough that this Terran push could be super strong.
The thing is like, The moment he decides to do moves like that, maybe he can recall in, and that could be very strong.
You mean like after he's cleared out the third base?
No, when
Or,
Terra move out like this, maybe.
Oh
he
yeah,
can
yeah, the
recall
counter
again.
recall. Yeah. Ooh, EMP goes down without Arbiter, and these games are going to be able to clean this up pretty easily. And we'll see what Zhanhun's response is. He's got a bunch of his army here at the top. It looks like he is going to go for a recall here. And we might see exactly what I'm talking about, because this recall could get absolutely obliterated. He is going to recall a second Arbiter. Oh no, he didn't. His army moved, so he actually doesn't get the Arbiter recall. But he did actually get behind the minerals at least. So it's going to get cleaned up. Kind of nicely, though, there from Mihu. And now, one of the worst things that can happen is when you go for a recall and you don't get any damage, and the Terran armies are your natural. This is a little bit scary. A little bit of a late scan from Mihu, but his army is so big here, I don't think it matters. No siege mode needed, just a move.
Man. What a push, man. Not even a vessel in the mix.
Yeah, he did have one vessel, but he got stasis. But yeah, not even needed, right? Just scans and A move, not even siege mode. And now that he's cleaned up that recall, we're going to see the reinforcements come across the map. So by the time that Zhanhun even can start to deal with this, which we don't have any scans coming down, so he's getting pretty good value here. But now a vessel rejoins. And I don't think Zhanhun can hold on anymore.
Yeah, there are more units coming.
And there's no storms or anything, maybe for like some magic. Just a stasis or two, but not going to be enough. Zhanhun gonna push into his natural, and another thing too about this map that is really good for turn if you get to this stage of the game is that it doesn't matter how many bases Protoss has, if you contain their natural, all their gateways are gonna be here, right? So they can't protect their other bases very easily.
Yeah.
So as long as we control the rally here, it doesn't matter how much they're running.
Yeah, he wasn't really in this GG. He wasn't really in a position to make gateway. In another place or anything, so that's right. You lose your timing, you lose your units, you just get close in your main, and that's the trap.
Yeah, GG. Strong push, strong defense from Mihu, strong push to follow it up, good recall defense, and
Good recover.
Zhanhun.
Very good recover. Because they.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's actually a good point. The DT in the beginning got so much value that Zhanhun. I really liked Zhanhun's positioning after that DT opener.
Yeah, it was a really good recovery. Like, I was honestly 100% sure that Zhanhun's position was so strong that it would be just a matter of time for him to, to dominate the game, to deny the tier expansion, to just like to suffocate him outside his natural. That none of that happened. Actually.
Yeah. And it looks like our next map is going to be Mihu's map pick, Polestar. Not too surprising. I think a lot of Terran players like this map for PvT or TvP. Yeah.
By the way, is this a best of 3 or best of 5?
It is a best of 5. It's all best of 5s until the finals, which is a best of 7. Yeah, and there you have it. Zhanhun versus Mihu. When Mihu, or whoever wins this is going to be when Mihu wins this. That's how much I believe in Mihu, by the way. That's where my brain went. But whoever wins this will be playing the loser of Fengzi versus Dewalt, which we are going to be casting after the series as well. And Fengzi's actually been he's actually been doing really well so far in this tournament. I know he's a bit of an old school player. I hadn't really heard about him too much prior to this, but he's been doing really, really well.
Yeah, bro, you just like started 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Fengzi was that was the guy in China 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
One of the old school big boys, huh?
Yeah, no, he was really good. There was a server called Fish, and he was like, I mean, I used to beat him. He beat me, But
Mhm.
you know, like we used to be like high rating.
Yeah. All right. That's good. Good to know.
He was winning almost every tournament in China as well. He just dominates in China.
Well, it's nice to see him coming back and doing well. All right, looks like we're ready to hop into game 2 here. So we're going to get Mihu versus Zhanhun on Polestar. All right, our Terran Chinese player here spawning in the bottom left. We have Mihu. And his opponent, the Chinese Protoss player in the top left, Zhanhun.
Okay, Polestar.
Yeah. Yeah, it is Mihu's map pick. Like I was saying, not too surprising. I think a lot of the Terrans like this map. I am also a fan of this map, TvP.
It was QiaoGege, the one that made 12 Nexus on Radeon, if I'm not mistaken.
On was it Radeon?
Yeah, it was Radeon.
Yeah, that's right. It was Radeon. Yeah.
I wonder if we are going to see the same, but on this map from Zhanhun.
Yeah, I think Radion's a pretty it's a relatively common 12 Nexus map because of if you get crawl spawns, the travel distance is so insane, right? That it's just so strong on that map. So I think that's why a lot of Protoss players go for it on Radion.
Well, just a standard opening. Gateway first.
Yeah. We'll just get a normal in-base gateway, so nothing too aggressive. Still could go for Zealot Harass, but typically the in-base gate Zealot Harass I'm not really a big fan of. You can do a little bit of tricks, like maybe you get the Zealot out, you don't get Scott, you can hide it, kind of hide it and go with like the Goon Probe kind of trio there and catch turn off guard, maybe being late on their bunker or something, but you don't see that very often anymore.
Here goes Miho scouting. First scout, by the way. The lucky,
Yeah.
the lucky in the champion side right now.
Yeah, getting first scout here feels really good.
As a Terran, bro, like you scout first like this, you are in heaven.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because you can adjust your build exactly how you need to. So because he gets the first scout, he's going to know whether or not there's a Zealot. He's going to know basically everything about Zhanhun's opening now.
Yo, by the way, props to you for picking up StarCraft 2 years ago, man. You just missed like 20 years, the golden era, everything, but that is pretty cool. Like, what do you learn about the StarCraft on ChatGPT or something?
No, so I started playing 1v1s 2 years ago, but I always played on BGH. I was a big game hunters from the beginning.
No fastest, never.
Very little. I don't like this map, no.
Okay. Is me or Zhanhun just didn't scout at all?
No, he's going for a pretty late scout. He may just go for a Goon Scout at this point.
Yeah, it's not really uncommon.
Gonna go for that Goon Scout. It's gonna go the right direction, and this actually is. Yeah, I was gonna say we have to drop that bunker, but we've only got one Marine here. This could be pretty bad for me, who is gonna get caught being greedy again. Not even starting a second Marine actually, which is wild to me. We really want to get this Nexus down.
Are we serious?
And he's gonna get the Marine inside, but the Goon's just gonna walk past at this point, delay the CC. And basically, Zhanhun's going to be looking to delay this Nexus, or the CC as long as he can. He's got his own Nexus on the way. I like the double repair on the ramp here. Marine going to go down, and yeah, this greed from Mihu finally getting punished. I've seen him do this a few times now. And the Goon Scout going to catch him completely off guard.
Hey man, I tell you, in the old days, you know, like a long time ago, Terrans will defend this with like 7 Marines. You will not see stuff like this.
Yeah.
Now he just used 2 SCVs and repair. Imagine.
Look at that timing from Zhanhun, by the way. Really, really smart. He stayed and delayed it as long as he could, and then left with the goon right as the tank was coming out. So he only killed one Marine, but delaying the CC for so long and forcing those SCVs to like stay on the ramp and repair, that's enough damage for Zhanhun. So he's going to take a slight advantage here for Mihu's greed.
Yep. Obviously he doesn't know this stuff, right? But I wonder if skipping Nexus and just going straight to Robotic River would have been like a good choice after doing so much damage.
Maybe that's kind of wild, but I like the way you think. Mihu gonna go for this push, and this is just typical Mihu fashion. It's just doesn't matter what happened. I said this the other day. I was like, Mihu has two trains of thought. It's either I took damage and I need to attack to even the game back up, or I'm really far ahead, or I didn't take damage and I should attack. Either way, we're just always attacking.
Oh, never mind. You can see the difference in micro when you see Zhanhun and QiaoGege.
Yeah. Yeah, Zhanhun definitely.
Even Mihu is respecting it way more.
Yeah, he didn't just push in like he did against QiaoGege. It's actually true. Yeah, just kind of holding position right here, which can be good. I mean, he's leaning on Zhanhun, and what this kind of does is it makes it where Zhanhun's not comfortable taking that third at a normal timing. So typically, like the earliest Protoss looking to take their third is around 6 minutes. And because he knows Mihu is pushed across the map and he's making him uncomfortable, he was waiting for his observer and everything and kind of positioning very defensively here. But gonna jump on top of these tanks right as they siege. And gonna be a pretty good cleanup for Zhanhun. It's gonna be only 2 goons going down for those 2 tanks and all these vultures and marines. I guess the 3rd goon does drop at the end, but yeah, really nice cleanup for Zhanhun. He can now very comfortably take this 3rd nexus, and we do see a drop immediately.
That was a really good clean. We didn't see a clean like this in, the whole day. So yeah, that was impressive to see.
Yeah, Zhanhun did 2 things there really well, I feel like. He split his goons really well so that none of them were taking splash damage from the tanks. And he also kind of moved in really well to get shots on the tanks without eating mine shots at all. So
no, he was sniping the mines at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a really nice engagement from Zhanhun.
Okay. So as a Terran player, do you think now Mihu is going to play different based in the result of that aggression he did?
So as a Terran player, my thought process is that went really poorly. I'm gonna have to take a 3rd base and play a little bit of a longer game. But because it's Mihu, I suspect he's just gonna attack him again. That's just kind of the Mihu way.
It's double down.
Yeah. Which, there is a little bit of logic behind it, to be fair. Like, sometimes what ends up happening is, like, Protoss will get a really good fight, and then they're going to be really greedy in response, right? They'll be like, alright, I killed your tanks, I killed your army, I lost very little. I'm going to double expand, or I'm going to expand and rush my tech at the same time, or something like this. And a lot of times, what ends up happening is, when you re-push after that, you can catch them off guard being too greedy.
Well, rivers are coming to the mix.
Yeah.
Hopefully this can delay the Mihu aggression.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, all he needs is just time to block all this time.
Yep. I think what Zhanhun is doing is pretty much exactly what he should be doing against Mihu. He blocked the push, he just took 1 expansion, he's not being crazy greedy. He went for Reavers, which is great for slowing down pushes as well. So I think this is the perfect response to his opponent.
Snow will probably be sniping tanks with that shot.
Yeah.
Snow is crazy with that river mic.
Snow works magic, man. He picks off, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes when I'm watching it, I've talked about this before. one of the reasons I quit Protoss was because when I watched Snow using Reavers and still losing games, I was like, all right, well, I'm never going to be even close to as good as Snow is with Reavers, and he's still losing, so there's no point in me trying.
Oh, so you betray Ayur.
I've had this said to me a few times. All right, we're going to
Reaver,
catch
the
a little bit
Reaver!
of an on siege, but only get a few
Be
shots.
careful. I have seen this river dying without siege, so imagine.
He was kind of threatening with the shuttle to make him unsiege and then coming back when with the vultures, or the goons, I mean. He's picking up a lot of the vultures, hasn't killed any of the tanks so far.
Do you think Protoss is in trouble here?
Is this Reaver gonna crawl into that mine? Surely not. Oh no. Okay, we'll just hit
It's
some good
looking
again.
so scary. I don't see Zero speed, nothing. I don't know how we holding this.
This is crazy because Mihu's pushing so efficiently. Oh my god, we're gonna pick the Reaver off too. Second one, also gonna go down. Oh
we are
no.
not even pressing attention no more. It's too much stress.
Wow, Mihu's gonna make this work. And I thought Zhanhun was doing exactly what he should have done. He didn't double expand, he wasn't teching. But Mihu's pushes are just that strong. He got across the map so efficiently and so quickly at the same time without taking like any Reaver damage hardly. And now he's in this position with a great setup. And I don't think Zhanhun's going to be able to defend this anymore. We'll see if he can work some magic. Goons we're even losing Goons with mines on the backside while we have the Observer with it. No Zealot speed even yet.
Well, this shuttle does like crazy work with dropping silos. Maybe some silos bomb. I don't know. I don't know how we clean this.
He does have shuttle speed. He might be waiting for one more round, but we're starting to bleed off some probes now. And I think we're going to go for the big fight here. We're going to try and hit him from multiple angles. No, just going to drop the one Zealot for now. But we got the Goons from behind. Here we go. Here's the big fight. Zealot Bomb going to go down. Going to get this kind of full surround from Zhanhun. This is about as good of a fight as he could hope for. The reinforcements from Mihu coming in behind us, but they're going to be a little bit late getting to the tanks, so the tanks are going to get cleaned up. Just barely, actually.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's enough for Zhanhun.
At what cost, man?
Actually, big mind drag here on the tanks.
Oh my god. Okay, we're killing all the tanks. We survive.
Wow, Zhanhun gonna clean this up. Just barely, but it might be enough. We did lose, it looks like, a handful of probes at least. I know those siege tanks on the left side were kind of clipping the probes on the bottom. We got the third CC on the way for Mihu. And yeah, Zhanhun just barely holds on, but great engagement from Zhanhun.
Imagine if we actually, like, you know, didn't lose the Reavers.
True. Yeah, imagine we have a second shuttle with the two Reavers in that fight. It actually could have been really, really clean.
Yeah, man. I mean, Terra is still on 2 bases.
Yeah. He does have that third CC finished. That is a gigantic pylon wall. Zhanhun 109 out of 195 supply. That's crazy. I guess he's not making pylons again for the rest of the game. I mean, he's going to make some, but he doesn't need anymore.
Oh, man. He has pylon to spare.
Trying to get this fourth base up, but Mihu being pretty annoying here with the vultures. Going to pick off the probe for the second time now, laying all these mines. And this is actually starting to get kind of painful because he needs that fourth base. Mihu's third base is landed now and going to be mining very soon.
Can we just like go and kill Terran?
Right now, no, there's no way. It would be a miracle if we kill Terran from here. Alright, going for some Reaver harass, but unfortunately not going to get any damage done. Does finally get his
does so much
out.
damage.
starting to worry for Zhanhun a little bit again. I mean, it was a great defense, like a really, really great hold in a situation that looked incredibly difficult to dislodge. But I'm just worried about his longevity in this game. I mean, Mihu's been mining on 3-base versus our 3-base for a while now, which is never good for Protoss. He's set up really well, so we're not able to break him. We're going to try to go, looks like, for maybe a Storm Drop here at the natural.
I have to say that he actually spent it
Oh,
pretty late. So at some point he's going to be just on one base.
Yeah.
That is probably not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, Zhanhun, if he gets his 4th base up and running, he got some decent damage there. He's cleared a lot of the vultures. Okay, we're getting our 5th base started here potentially very soon as well, which is kind of nice. He does need that 5th base, so I like to see that from him.
Double grade. What are the grades for Terra, by the way? I didn't press any attention to that.
It should be 1-0. So I imagine he's working on 2-1 right now, but I'm not 100% sure. Catching these goons out here in the middle of the map is pretty nice for Mihu. But Zhanhun's starting to get into a pretty decent supply. We do have the storms, we have the shuttles.
I feel like, yeah, now that Terra is like losing these mains and the naturals, a Storm Drop could be very, very dangerous at that tier expansion.
Mm-hmm. Mihu taking his time. He probably won't push again until 2-1 is ready. And he'll probably be expanding towards 6 o'clock for his next base. This is what I would imagine at this point. You know, Zhanhun is maxed out, so his army is not really going to get much stronger, whereas Mihu still has a lot of room to grow. Yeah, there's the 4th base coming down for Mihu. Does need to be a little bit careful about setting up quickly here. He does see the army coming down here.
Yeah, I see Mihu being a bit optimistic about taking the first expansion right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good enough unit spread to be able to take this base.
Oh,
but he's actually just going to go for their counterattack, so things might get a little bit crazy here. Zhanhun does recognize that and immediately starts going back home. So this is one way to defend your base, just attack, right?
Yeah, and things like Protoss need to clean so many mines, so it's really not that easy for him to come back.
I like leaving a few goons here, but we'll see. I guess cleaned up easily from me, who are not used sending a bunch of units over there. And yeah, he does actually have enough tanks here to clean this up. You want the SCVs attacking too. And here we go. Here's going to be the big fight. We got 4 shuttles flying in with this. Going to be Storms and Zealots raining down on top of these siege tanks. There's no vultures here to protect the tanks either, so all these tanks are going to go down, and this is another fantastic fight for Zhanhun.
That was pretty good. That was amazing, actually. He just like killed every siege tank.
Even a mine drag there on the back end of it, killing a few more tanks. And yeah, this is with Zhanhun going up to 5 days, so it's not like he's weak behind this either.
I think he has that.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to break through this base, and with reinforcements coming, he might be able to push all the way through and get a lot of damage done. You know, it's a little bit AFK on the right side. We do have shuttles swinging out to the right side as well, so I think he's going to try to counter that 6 o'clock base while Mihu is stuck here dealing with this. I mean, the Archon getting inside and killing a ton of SCVs. 10 SCVs, or 10 kills at least on that Archon. And here we go, a counter shuttle drop on the 6 o'clock. This is great pressure from Zhanhun, dropping a Templar out with it as well. Surprisingly, like 0 SCVs dying. They're so tanky.
Oh, that was good play by Zhanhun. That was really good play. All of a sudden he just like can spend, must spend like crazy. I think yeah, he didn't lose SCVs at the 4th expansion, but he SCVs at the tier. So his eco took a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing too, he reset the 10 count, so it's going to be a long time before Mihu can push again, and Zhanhun should know that he's safe from any push for a little while here. Gims is poking around the outside here, gonna clear up some of these mines. Tanks coming up from Mihu to try and push them back a little bit. We'll just reset the mines. But any trading right now is pretty good for Zhanhun. Like any units he's picking off, he's getting so big on the map now. We have that extra corner base on the way. I mean, 4-base Terran is still pretty scary, but he is mined down on his main and natural, so he's essentially a 2-base Terran at the moment. Whereas we're mining pretty happily on 3 to 4 bases right now for Zhanhun.
Yeah, on top of that, he can abuse now storm drops.
Here we go, 4 more shuttles potentially to bomb a mineral line. See how quickly Mihu responds. There's not a whole lot of units here either by time. Great positioning on these Templar too to get them on the retreat. Yeah, there we go. A bunch of SCVs going to be going down. Not a whole lot actually so far. Stormdar Zealots mostly on that one, but still killing some SCVs, right? Disrupting the mining a little bit when you're mining.
I mean, there is like 5 SCVs left, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, a few did get out on the transfer, but yeah, did still kill. Yeah, it was like, what, 6, 7, probably, something like that. Which is pretty good damage when you're mining so healthily for Zhanhun. Even coming back in. Okay, there we go. The softened up SCV is going down, so a bunch more dropped these last 2 units.
Just keep doing it, Just keep doing it.
This is the pain of when Shuttle Style gets online with a strong eco, this is what's so hard to deal with. They can just keep going over and over and over again. It's so hard to deal with.
It's like me who wants to engage.
Yeah, cleaning up a lot more of these tanks. Nice D-Matrix on that front tank, gonna take a lot of extra damage, but pushing down through the high ground now, and GG gonna be called. Really well played from Zhanhun. He was very close to dead and did a great job pulling this game back.
That was a really good game, man, by Zhanhun. Really good one. Nice attack with the shuttles. Honestly, I was in disbelief because of the early timing that Mihu did. The situation was looking really bad. He lost 2 rivers. Lose many units. But yes, somehow, some way, he made that work, and he tied the series. It's 1-1 now, right?
Yep, tied 1-1. Pretty well played from Zhanhun. I really thought he was dead on that second push. I feel like Mihu executed that push so well. Got across the map, taking basically no damage from the Reavers, even picked off the 2 Reavers, and really thought Zhanhun was dead, but he did a great job kind of getting these goons in behind and kind of setting up this 3-way flank with the Zealot bombs, and he barely cleaned it up, but it was good enough to keep him in the game, and he did a great job from there, recovering and taking the win, so. Looks like our next map is going to be Deja Vu.
How do you like Deja Vu for TvP?
I don't like it. A lot of Terrans like it. I don't. But it looks like Zhanhun likes it as a Protoss player, so. The problem I feel like with Deja Vu is you get a pretty easy 3rd base, but then after that it's really hard to continue expanding. It was a bit better before, but they nerfed middle quite a bit. So it used to be you could take 3 base and then take middle for your 4th base, and then kind of play from there. But they reduced the number of minerals in middle and made less buildable terrain. So, or removed the buildable terrain on the high ground. So it's much harder for Terran to take a 4th and play from here, I think. And I just don't like maps that force you to go up a hill to come out of your base. Like, I hate Polyvoid for the same reason.
Oh, do you hate Polyvoid?
I can't stand Polyvoid.
That's an amazing Terran map.
That's what they say.
Hey man, listen. Let me tell you something. Back in the days, we didn't have maps like this, okay? You are
Yeah,
living
yeah.
in the golden era of Terran.
I'm spoiled, huh?
This 4 bases setup that didn't exist back then. Now you have it easy.
That's maybe true. Look, I liked Polypoid when I was a Protoss player, I'll say that. For whatever that's worth.
I used to like this map at Sylphid when they first released it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good map. Alright, looks like we're ready to hop into game 3 here of Zhanhun versus Mihu on Deja Vu. Alright, spawning in the top left, we have Mihu, and his opponent on the opposite corner, we have Zhanhun. But going back to what you're saying, I actually did like Neo Sylphid as well. I kind of think this is a good map.
Yeah, they just like they did, and they made it like the worst possible map ever for Zerg. That was the goal. They did it.
Yeah, I guess that was a pretty rough map for Zerg.
At first, it was really nice. Everyone was loving it. The gas was good. Everything. Then they just like reduce gas. They put a spot that you can put these silos and trade one by one with Starleague. Many of them all over the place. They make it like really bad. They destroy it.
Why do they hit Zerg players so much, Young?
I don't know. We didn't even have Sorky back then.
Right? What do you think about while we go through the early game here, what do you think about the new map? Well, have you seen much of it at all, or are you just kind of waiting for it to be released?
No, I'm waiting. I'm waiting
Okay.
for it to be released. I have no idea. But you mentioned that they made some changes to Deja Vu. I'm curious to see what actually that changed.
Yeah, the two major changes that I'm aware of is they made it where you can't build on the high ground outside of the, that like high ground ramp there. You can't build there anymore for Terran. And they reduced the minerals and middle. It used to be like 8 patches, and now it's less.
7?
I want to say 6, maybe. I don't remember exactly, but it used to be, yeah, it used to be a really good base to take, and now it's not anymore.
Here we go with the scouting. Man, Mihu is about to make a command center, no? Rack is spend. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's doing it in kind of a weird way. This is not like a normal way of doing it. He's actually going for like a kind of an 18 CC instead of a 15. I wonder why he did that.
It's been a long time since I saw a Rack spend.
Yeah, this is an interesting way of doing it. I haven't seen it done that way, but Zhanhun opening with the Zealot this time. He's caught on to Mihu playing greedy these early games. We're going to see that bunker come down from Mihu, but it's going to be a little bit late, so he's going to have to do a little bit of micro here against the Zealot and Probe, but good initial block with the SCV. Actually, the Zealot getting no hits so far. There we go, finally getting 2 shots there onto that Marine, and going to go down to the Probe, actually. And bunker comes up, and a pretty good defense from Mihu. Honestly, he can be very happy with that.
I mean, it was really good for both sides, in my opinion, because he didn't really lose the Zealot. Kill one Marine, just go out. Delay the command center a bit.
We even made a second Zealot, actually. That's not great for Zhanhun.
Yeah. But he's doing a very fast robotic.
Yeah, we're probably going to see some Reaver harass.
Oh, cross spawns as well. Interesting choice.
Well, opener, definitely good for Mihu so far. You know, we got 2 Zealots out of Zhanhun, only got 1 Marine out of it. And Mihu did this kind of earlier CC, so his expansion finishes a lot quicker. We'll see what he wants to use this advantage for. I imagine it's going to be some sort of attack. If I know Mihu like I know Mihu.
Do you think he's going to do an attack? Because when you do racks spend like this, usually your timings are not that aggressive.
Well, so there is a there's like a 5 tank push that you can do, or a 3 tank sometimes even, but typically there's like a 5 tank push I see quite often off of a 15 CC. But this was like an 18 CC, which I'm not entirely sure how that changes the dynamic a bit. Gotta catch the goon here actually and completely chunk out the shields there. But I really don't know much about the CC timing for this one. It's not one that I've seen very often at all.
Armory. Very fast armory.
Yeah, with the armory coming down, that definitely indicates that he doesn't want to be pushing anytime soon, so I think you are correct.
Okay, we're about to see. I mean, is he making more turrets in the main, or it's just 3 of them at the national? Because the Deja Vu main is actually big. He needs to make a good amount of to avoid letting that shot in.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think he'll go for a turret ring because of the big main, but it looks like he might actually be going for a bit of a turret ring here. So yeah, I think that's the Reaver coming across the map, and yeah, we are doing that turret ring. But he's spacing them out pretty well that he's gonna get it done with. I think he's only gonna make the 4 turrets total, which does leave a little bit of a gap. Kind of like below the natural, I think you can kind of fly in there.
Can he kill one of those turrets from the low ground?
I guess you could. You don't see that very often, but he's actually going to go for a push here. With the Reaver going to target down the bunker, but the 3 tanks here, if siege mode finishes soon, then he's going to be completely fine, but I don't know how far we are from siege. Yeah, we see those extra tanks. I do think this was going to be that push from Mihu that I was talking about with the 5 tanks, because we have 4 tanks very, very early with no vulture. But siege mode not done yet. He's going to have to try to fight it with unsieged tanks, which can be very dangerous.
The Reaver!
Oh my god, he does it again. No siege mode needed. Reaver goes down.
That was a bit lazy by Zhanhun.
Mm-hmm.
No ideal to lose the Reaver. Do you actually require these units to tempo the game? You put these Reavers in the high ground, at the high ground, you just like delay, contain, keep growing. But now if we're losing these units, you're just like giving too much freedom to the Terran.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just keeps pumping tanks. We're going to get a strong push here coming from Mihu. He actually killed one of his own Marines because he was supply blocked and he wanted to get as much army out as possible. And he sees that the high ground here is currently open. And there's less goons than siege tanks here. I'm surely it's done. I'd imagine so. I think that's what he was waiting for before he started pushing. Yeah. And sending 2 buildings in to help spot as well. I actually really like this. This is good for 2 reasons. It's good for scouting ahead of your army, as well as soaking damage from the Dragoons during a fight. Here we go. Mihu gonna show us how good he is at pushing quickly across the map with his tanks. He's just gonna keep leapfrogging forward here very, very quickly, making sure not to miss too much of a macro beat at home. He has supply blocked right now.
Zhanhun is doing a good job, to be honest.
Oh! Okay, Reaver takes a little bit of damage there. Not too bad yet, I don't think. Second Reaver out for Zhanhun, and yeah, he's just trying to fight backwards and buy as much time. That was a very ambitious unload from this Reaver.
Need to be careful because the Reaver now is very low on HP.
Yeah, he's gonna pick up the second Reaver. And supply is staying pretty much the same across the board as he's pushing across here. Looks like Zhanhun gonna get his army between Mihu's main base and his army.
He's evacuating the workers, doing a counterattack. Risky.
Yeah, Zhanhun just gonna full commit to the counter. There's no tanks out right now.
There's nothing. Two Reavers?
Oh man, this could actually be such a strong counterattack. And yeah, Mihu having to bring some units back for this. He has no tanks that we're building right now.
There is no turret in the main!
Oh no. All the SCV is going down. Oh my god, so much damage being done from these Reavers. 22 kills on that Reaver.
Nah, brother, he has like 4 SCVs left.
And even if Mihu survives here, I mean, he has to kill Zhanhun at home, and he has no economy right now.
That's
Zhanhun with a ton of goons here.
I think you did.
Oh man, Mihu, big swipe of his face there, shaking his head. GG gonna be called Zhanhun with a fantastic counterattack. Gonna take out Mihu and bring this game to 2-1.
Wait a minute. How do you know that he was checking his head?
The camera?
Oh, do you see the camera? I did.
You might have been watching the
Oh, okay. Well, I was like, dude, bro, this guy has Sharingan or what?
I'm looking at him right now. I'm watching him in his chair. Sitting beside him while I cast.
I only see gameplay. Oh my god. Wow, what a counterattack, by the way. That was a really good decision in a critical timing.
Yeah, it's interesting because so I've been in that position where I'm worried about that counterattack, and so typically when you're pushing, you want to keep making vultures like me, who was doing, right? Because vultures build so fast, they reinforce so fast, they body block for your tanks, like they're just really good for reinforcing. But I always end up making tanks because I'm so terrified of the counterattack for this reason. But yeah, that was a fantastic call from me, Zhanhun. Completely caught Mihu off guard on the counterattack. Mihu's push was looking very strong and very scary, so I think Zhanhun would have been in a lot of trouble if he didn't go for that.
The thing is, he didn't have a single tank or like any kind of defense really. Like there was no units at all.
Yeah. Mihu thinks of attacking only. That's the only thing that goes through his brain, and I respect him for that. I've actually started to copy his style a little bit recently.
Oh really? How that goes?
Not well, because I'm probably half as good as Mihu, or less. So, but you gotta practice. I like the way he thinks sometimes, because I get too passive.
But those early game situations, do you actually feel like they are strong or?
As the Terran player, I feel like I feel so weak, but when I watch Mihu do it, it always looks strong. So,
oh brother, you are in for a ride. I watch Sophie doing stuff that I think, oh, this is so strong. Then I do it, my units are paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't have the Mihu micro at all, so I see him doing it, I'm like, man, this is so broken. And then I do it, I'm like, yo, my units suck. Why are his tanks so much better than mine? Why did his unsieged tanks kill Reavers all the time? All right, looks like we're ready for it. Game 4, so we're going to jump into that. Zhanhun and Mihu on Dominator. Spawning here on the top, we have Mihu. His opponent here in the bottom, we have Zhanhun. So Mihu picking Dominator here, which makes sense, kind of like we were talking about. This, I think, is a really good Terran map if you know how to play it well, especially TvP. I think if you navigate the early game, it's very hard for Protoss because they can't take another main like they can on pretty much any of the other maps.
Yeah, I have to say Gladiator. Dominator is actually one of the most maps and classic maps we have had in the past ASL seasons. And honestly, this map and what was called another 3 players map, Ascension, I believe? Not Ascension. It was a desert map, a 3 players map.
Oh,
Well,
I know what you're talking about because
well,
I hate desert maps too. But I know the one that has the high ground outside of the natural.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Well, that
Yeah,
one and this one are probably one of the most standard maps to play and more easy to get into.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually surprising that you are having troubles in a map like that, especially because I feel like it really fit. I mean, honestly, fit every race. It's just very standard. It's actually very standard. It's like you can say it's one of those like classic, just like pump from time to time that like fighting spirit, like Silphid, like Polypoid. I feel like Dominator is one of those maps right now.
Yeah. Well, you just named. I guess I just don't like StarCraft maps because I don't like fighting
Apocalypse
spirit
was
either,
the
so.
map. Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse. Yeah.
Funny enough, Broodwar is getting these three players map that are really balanced these days.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like typically 3-player maps are pretty Terran favorite, especially in TvP, but they have done a good job of balancing them out a fair amount.
Because the scouting, both players are scouting each other. Very standard openings. By the way, since you are casting often, does Mihu ever like do like this, like 8 racks bunker rush or 2 racks against Protoss?
I've never seen it, no. 8 racks, bunker rush.
You never seen that because back in the days, Flash was actually busting that build like.
Yeah, man, I never see that. No.
Yeah, you had to be there, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually, now that I've like learned so much about StarCraft 1v1 stuff, I should go back and watch some of the old school stuff and see how people used to play, because it seems like I missed out on a pretty crazy era. Because like now everything's so standardized, right? Like I can watch something and be like, okay, they're gonna do this and then this and then this, right? But apparently it was pretty wild back then.
I promise. Like you are lucky now that they are even like using AI to make good quality on the videos, the OGN channel on YouTube. So you should check that for. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Maybe I will actually check those out. Oh, yeah, could be fun. Alright, got an eBay block there from Mihu. Is going to get this much faster CC down than Zhanhun. Zhanhun going to go for, looks like a 27 Nexus to try and adjust a little bit to this eBay block. So, slight eco advantage for Mihu, as long as he doesn't take any damage from the goons here, which I can't imagine he would. This looks like a vulture that Mihu has running across the map right now. It looks pretty speedy, so I've actually kind of noticed, I was about to mention this earlier, he doesn't make the vulture very often, it seems like. He really likes going straight to these tanks because he wants to attack.
You know, this vulture can be a destroyer. And this no, this time it's not working.
Yeah, vulture going down to 1 shot left here. Gonna try and run around and stay alive until it can get mines up.
You know, the first time I saw a Terran doing this was a foreigner player, a Canadian player called BC. He actually did this vulture run by against Bisu, and he beat him.
Oh, he just with the first vulture there?
Yeah, he just like sneaked it, and he got into Bisu's main, got so many kills, and just like won the game. It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons that I think 23 Nexus became popular, because it is specifically good against the vulture opener, because you can send one good out on the map and leave one behind the ramp to cover the ramp so the vulture can't get inside. But vulture speed actually done, so we rushed to vulture speed And we're only going to get 1 probe for the 2 vultures total, so this is not a good opening for Mihu. He's not happy. Oh, going for drop. So we went vulture speed into vulture drop is what it's going to be. So Mihu definitely trying to mix things up a little bit here. Unfortunately, though, like I said, losing those 2 vultures for only 1 probe, not a great start for Mihu.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's risking it all with that build, because if I was to pick one of the most risky build to do, is probably drop chip builds. If that actually fails, it's almost like calling game. And look at this. Oh my god.
Okay, great SCV block, actually. That was a really quick reaction from Mihu to get the SCVs there to save that tank. But yeah, like you were saying, it's very true, especially because we've lost 2 vultures already. Like, he has to kill, I would say, like 6, 7, 8 probes before he can really be happy here. So this is going to have to get a lot of damage done.
I think Zhanhun just realized that Mihu is doing a Drochi build, because of how late is the siege and
Yeah,
there
it's
is
very
only 1
late.
tank.
You see him bringing his goons back to get into defensive position right as the dropship's going to be flying in here. And even had these 2 goons back here, so yeah, he was definitely aware that this could have been dropship play. Alright, let's see what we can get done. I mean, Zhanhun in position with a lot of his goons already.
The mines? What is he doing?
Wow. 0 goons go down.
He put the goons all in the same control. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, and this is not enough damage for Mihu at all.
Come on, Zhanhun, do it, bro, for the view. Oh man, he cleaned the mine. Come on, bro. drag it to the mineral line. Come on. Do it. No.
The instant RoboBay comes down, and yeah.
By the way, no. In a serious note, the dropship was actually successful, or?
I would call this not successful. He killed, what, maybe 4 or 5 probes? And lost the dropship, lost the vultures.
Going for the classic Mihu. You know, if I was in on this position, I will try to play a more the build with faster upgrades, since he already made starport.
Yeah, you do see that sometimes, like, it gets good damage. Well, it depends, like, sometimes you see a lot of damage. Sorry, I became my cat, she's going nuts. You get good damage, and then, you can follow up with a drop, or like you said, you can transition into upgrades if you just didn't get enough damage done. You just try to macro out.
Yeah. Margetti was here for Zhanhun. He took the mineral only, by the way. I'm surprised. Why? Is this common in TvP?
I think in this spawn it's okay, because the other 2 bases, like, you don't want to expand towards the turn at 9 o'clock, it's kind of dangerous. And then the 6 o'clock expansion's just so far away this early in the game that you don't want to take that either, so I think that's why I took this one.
What? Here goes the dropship again. This time, Protoss need to defend 3 locations.
Yeah. Let's run forward and trade 2 goons for a tank, at least. Not terrible for Zhanhun. I think he might have a Reaver, but is this the perfectly placed mines? No. Oh, he can see with the observer, yeah, so he's not going to run into the mines. And oh no, 7 SCVs going down. And I think Mihu's just going to go for it. I mean, this game's not going well. He does have pretty decent supply right now. All those mines detonating on the Zealot and not killing it.
He's losing a lot of Dragoons at the same time.
Bunch of tanks AFK in the middle there. He's kind of struggling to stabilize here, but he's going to be able to kill this Reaver off. Big hit, though, with its dying breath. And Mihu's going to have to try and make some magic happen, which we do see him do quite often. But it's kind of do or die. He lost a lot of SCVs. His army supply has to be pretty high because he's even on supply after losing a bunch of workers. We also have this dropship on the side here, potentially for a backstab during the fight.
You know, cats, they don't love that you close the door.
She came in. She's talking to her kittens.
This is the rule number one with cats. You can't have the doors locked.
Kind of a distracting dropship. Figures is using that to try and get into position here, but Lever shot gonna go down on the tank there. But I mean, like I said, this looks a little bit scary. It looks like Zhanhun is going for this kind of backstab. So this is something I love that Protoss does when you're getting pushed like this. You're checking to go for a counterattack. And then if they do defend, you just kind of keep the army between their base and their army, so that you're stopping their reinforcements as well as turning it into a flank. But he's going to push into the main area. He sees there's not enough to defend, so going to take down that tank. And now Mihu's going to have to be dealing with this while also trying to push at the same time. It's very, very hard to deal with.
Yeah, but it's still scary for Zhanhun here. I don't see that many units.
Yeah, this is a big army out here for Mihu, and he's taking his time, making sure this push is being as efficient as possible.
Rally point is not fixed. He's losing units.
And Zhanhun just going to commit to the counter. His entire army swung off to the side here, and he's just going to add more goons to this push with the Reavers as well. And we might get a repeat of the Deja Vu game. He's going for the same thing as last time.
This time he's losing the expansion. I think he's losing the workers as well.
Yeah,
he's still losing units to the rally point.
This is such a huge army left over from Mihu. Both players are about to die, and I don't know what's going to happen from here. All the vultures coming back, but the vultures can't really help with that very much. I mean, it's Goons, Reavers. We do have tanks coming out, though. Actually, he is going to be able to clean this up with the vultures, it looks like. With this tank here on the bottom side, getting the shell consistently. All the Goons are going to go down, and it looks like Mihu has barely squeaked out this game.
Pretty close, man. Pretty close.
We do still have that Reaver doing work, but I mean, Zhanhun's getting pushed into his main now. He has to be able to break up this because he'll never be able to get out of that ramp otherwise. They're gonna try and come in with Zealots. Goons coming up the ramp, but they're just dying as they come into range of these tanks. And there's still the Reaver in the main base of Mihu doing damage. Mihu not mining minerals. We see Zhanhun with a bank, but he cannot deal with his army. 23 kills now on this Reaver.
Oh, he can dive into the main again.
There we go. I mean, the Reaver is still doing more and more damage. Mihu not able to mine. He really needs to kind of stabilize here. This Reaver getting so much damage done. It looks like Zhanhun spent all of his money queuing up all of his gateways. I don't know if it's... I don't know that it's over right now because Zhanhun is mining at least a little bit, whereas Mihu's not really mining at all.
Yeah, but how he breaks those side?
Looks like he is going to go for it again here. I mean, this is an extremely difficult position to break, but he is at least still making units. But man, yeah, shooting uphill, I mean, we're missing so many shots. We finally get that one tank, but I think it is too much for Zhanhun.
Maybe DTs? No, he doesn't have a temporary.
And now a bunch of Goliath come out. The Reaver goes down, and I think finally Mihu's got it done. But man, these games have been absolute scraps. One last bust attempt here for Zhanhun, but so many tanks, even the mines on the low ground, and GG gonna be called. What a crazy game.
What a difficult position to be in.
Yeah.
I think if he was more careful with the rally point, because he was losing every unit to two tanks for free for a long time because he was, you know, busy with the River micro. I don't know, man. It was super close. I mean, I honestly saw Mihu losing that, not winning.
Yeah.
In any case.
Yeah, I had a hard time calling that one. I genuinely could not tell who was gonna win or lose until pretty close to the end. That was a bit wild. I mean, Zhanhun went for the same counterattack, and this time we saw Mihu was making tanks behind his push. So I think because of that, he was able to defend a little bit longer than the previous game. All right, insane series so far. We're gonna get a game 5. It will be on Radeon. I wonder if Zhanhun's gonna go for 12 Nexus on this. We see 12 Nexus so much on this map.
Yeah. So that's 2-2, right? City side tie.
Yeah, tied 2-2. We're on game 5, final game. Once again, coming down to the final game of the series here.
Come on, man. Someone has to do a one proxy gate or something. Come on. Make it interesting. Mihu was doing that build for a long time. Then he just like... He's not doing it very often.
Single proxy gate or like 9-9? Yeah. What a scrap.
Well, already I'm about to decide who advances, who goes home.
Yeah, it's true though. It's actually crazy that we're in a position where the losers bracket is Zhanhun versus Mihu, right? Like one of these guys do not get to continue in the tournament. This is, like I was saying, to me, this is two of the best foreigners in the world right now for their respective races. I mean, they're top 2, top 3, so
yeah, two guys that is very surprising to see them already in the loser bracket. But what can you do, man? What can you do?
Yeah, Mihu had a hard time in the kind of the round robin group stages that they were doing. He actually got to start off in the losers bracket. But it would be cool to see him climb his way out of here and make it to the grand finals potentially. But it's got a bit of a tough road ahead of him, for sure.
Yo, imagine Mihu actually goes into the game, make a barrack command center factory, and then 4 more barracks, marine medic, siege tank timing.
Do like the deep 6 or whatever they call it, the marine medic tank push. I actually think this is a really fun build to do. I'm not convinced it's any good, but it's especially against someone that does play Reavers, right? Like Zhanhun does play a lot of Reavers. But all right, looks like we are ready, guys. We're going to jump into game 5 here. Zhanhun versus Mihu on Radeon. Spawning in the top left, we have Zhanhun, and in the bottom right, we have his opponent, Mihu. So it is cross spawn, so this would be the time to go 12 Nexus.
Hey man, back in the days, that build used to hit.
Yeah?
I saw Midas. Do you know Midas? He's a Terran player.
I do not.
No, okay. He was from the Telecom team.
Okay.
He used to be a really good Terran player back then.
Yeah. It's so dangerous to do it against someone that plays Reaver though. And Zhanhun I think it's Zhanhun who's made a Reaver in every game so far.
Yeah.
But if they don't make Reavers, that build is sick.
No, back then they used to split the Marines.
Yeah, that's true. You could just micro better. Yeah. That's very true.
Anyway, you mentioned 12 Nexus here, but Zhanhun not really falling into it. Not confident to do that build.
Yeah, he might just want to try and play a strong, solid game here for game 5. Just bring out his best build.
Hey man, props to this Protoss, by the way. No abusing the 12 Nexus bullshit that is destroying the Terran on ladder. No, I'm serious about this guy. He really knows how to play Protoss. I respect this guy.
Absolutely.
I respect this guy for not abusing that 12 name. This is what I call a good person. This guy has good values.
That's how you know he's a good person.
He's
Well,
a good person, by the way. Asaltosis.
well, maybe we could get along then, Eon, because I never played 12 Nexus once my entire Protoss career.
I mean, you for already switching to Terran, the Heaven is open to you, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, scouting. And Barrack? Command Center. Hey! Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Are we experiencing?
There's no way. There's no way he's going bio though. This, I don't believe it for a second.
Okay. Who was the guy that did a very fast DTP against? I think it was Rain against a Terran player in ASL. On that huge map, I forgot that it has a main inside. Very fast DTP. No even Dragoon range, nothing. Straight to Citadel.
Yeah. Now we're gonna get the 20 Nexus from Zhanhun, so this is rangeless, one goon expansion. So a little bit greedy for Zhanhun. It's gonna, I say greedy. I mean, it's basically a more comfortable follow up. Instead of doing 12 Nexus, you just do a 21 Nexus or 20 Nexus in this case. It's just a little bit safer than going 12 Nexus, obviously, and I would say that this is it slightly favored for Mihu opening, but not by a whole lot. This does help mitigate what would have been if he went 23 Nexus or something would have been ideal for Mihu. So it's gonna be okay. It's gonna even out a decent bit.
Mihu making a factory. Only one so far, by the way. No, he made second one.
Yeah.
No.
Second one did seem a little bit late.
So interesting to see, like, the way Mihu plays is so different from Koreans. But it also it works, you know, like, yeah, his player style is unique, his own way, and it works. And you know, this kind of like creative players. I always like this kind of player that brings something. You just don't follow like exactly like copy paste pro gamers builds.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get a really fast third Nexus from Zhanhun. It looks like he is thinking about it. Typically, the timing on that's about 6 minutes would be kind of the normal. So we're gonna do a 5-minute third here. So very, very greedy from Zhanhun in response to scouting the 15cc. I'm just gonna shell away at this bunker a little bit, kind of slow Mihu down a little bit, and Mihu even making that turret because he is worried about the DT.
Yeah, Miho always plays safe. He doesn't really miss with those times.
And we'll see. We'll see if Mihu wants to do this this early tank push. I imagine that's what we're gonna see. He does, he does seem to like going for it. I think, it kind of makes sense. We're in game 5. They're gonna pull out what they feel like are their best builds. So Mihu going for that 15cc into most likely aggression. Here comes tanks 2 and 3. And does he unload and pull the trigger, or does he wait for 5?
No, he's going for it. And actually, I wonder if he's going to head to the main or that tier expansion.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary for Zhanhun. His gun count's not very high right now. He might push down to that bottom side. If he's getting siege mode and he gets set up on the bottom side, if he gets there to that bridge, it becomes so hard for Protoss to kill.
He got the CV, so no bunker anymore. or turret.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is laying mines there on the right side. He wants to get to that bridge. You could tell by how he's moving, but he can't really afford to go into the goons. He doesn't know how many goons Zhanhun has. He doesn't know what Zhanhun's build order was exactly. And actually sneaking these vultures up to the top, looking for a third base, but he sees it's not going to be here at the 12 o'clock.
Vulture speed is done, and this is no block. Never mind. He's going to the tier.
Oh, does get the probe before it gets the wall off, so he's going to kill a few of the probes here. And that's actually pretty decent. That was like, what, 4 or 5 probes total? And it looks like we even went through the mines. Ooh, okay. Avoiding the mine shots there.
That is Aura. Have you seen the clip of Mihu killing mines against Zack without our server?
Like the mine sweeping where you kind of move forward, move back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned how to do that from watching him do it.
So you are flexing that you can macro like this.
if the latency is good enough, sure.
That is many factories, said the Haki. What the fuck is going on?
We are going for a big push, Eon. A very, very big push. Oh, it wasn't closed off here on the top side, so 2 more vultures are going to get inside and kill another 3, 4 probes here. And Zhanhun's eco, not where he would want it to be, considering he took this 5-minute third, which can be very scary for this really big push that Mihu's going for.
Is he getting the engineering bay?
Yeah, it is going to go down. Going to cost him just 1 goon. But there is a lot of tanks here, and he can pump so many vulture behind these tanks.
Dude, there are so many factories.
Oh no, we're still on 3 gate as well. I mean, there's 6 backed up and running here for Mihu, and we're just now adding our extra gateways for Zhanhun. I'm a little worried for Zhanhun and how much production Mihu has.
Well, there is going to be a river. If he actually intercept these tanks, there is a chance.
Yeah, we see Mihu going around the bottom side again. He really, really wants to get to this bridge. Does have a couple Goliath this time, which is nice to see. And yeah, Zhanhun gonna just try to buy time. He knows he does not have enough production right now. His gateways are just now finishing up, so he needs to delay this as much as he can to get as many units out as he can. He just finished the Citadel as well for light speed. And once again, he is sending that counter-attack.
I don't know if he can save the tier expansion. I mean, is he going for the tier or the main? Because...
Yeah, it looks like he changed his mind. He is just going straight up the middle here. He does have to worry about this flank coming in from Zhanhun. Big fight happening here. At the front.
That was nice micro, man, by the...
The Reaver does go down, but these tanks are all going to die as well, and Mihu does not have many tanks behind this. He does actually kill a bunch of goons on the backside before they go down, but look how much Zhanhun has left over. That's a great difference from Zhanhun so far. We're going to get a repush probably from Mihu. There's no third CC that has been started yet. He's still on that 6-pack just pumping units. But he's lost all of his tanks.
Great defense, receiving the system number. Insane. And not only that, now he can just expand again, take a 4 expansion, and there is only vultures in the map right now.
Yeah. Vultures are going to pin these goons up against the pylons here and actually clean these up. So, pretty good value actually for these goons as long as he gets out. No, we're just going to keep going. Why not? Yeah, I don't necessarily like the decision to go back in again. He had got a great initial value, but didn't lose too many vultures in the end, at least. And even pick off this goon here, just finding whatever little value he can. But we're only on 4 tanks still. There's the 3rd CC, still not even done. About 2/3 of the way done now. And yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to repush anytime soon with our tank count going down. Zhanhun looking to take that 4th base, does drop it now. Adding more gateways.
What do you think about this expansion instead of taking a main?
I kind of like it because he knows that Mihu's still in 2 base right now. And I think he can take a 5th base as a main if he wants to. I think right now he's worried a little bit about potential pushes from Mihu. This dive. Only going to kill a couple of CVs.
That was a waste.
Yeah, that was very wasteful. But I think he's taking this fort because he's just really worried about getting repushed, and this is just a natural, like, easy fort to defend still compared to a corner base.
Imagine we are going into mass shuttles style, because I don't see any Stargate or... Yeah, I don't see any Stargate or anything like that. If you wanted to do like Arbiter or Carriers, I don't know. It would be spotted by now.
Yeah, you would have started at the same time you start the archive, so... But he doesn't have second robo or anything like that, yeah, so the shuttle count... Does he have any shuttles, even? Or is he just playing pure gateway, man?
He just lose one, so I'm not really sure. Seems like Mihu's making so many units.
Yeah. Yeah, Mihu's macro is just always insane. So we are just doing pure gateway, man. We have no shuttles for this big fight that's about to happen. There's so many vultures.
Oh, the workers? Are these workers in range?
Not yet. But that is a ballsy transfer. He is going to catch some of the workers on the top side. Meanwhile, we have a big counterattack from Zhanhun. This is something Zhanhun has been showing us over and over again in the series. But yeah, I think pushing through there when this army comes back... Oh no, we're losing it.
That is huge. That is huge. Don't lose the High Templars. Okay. Wow.
Now this is a bad angle too for Zhanhun. He's fighting like kind of around this doodad, so it's getting blocked off a little bit, and a bunch of his army's not here. He bled off those Templar. And this is about the worst possible fight Zhanhun could have taken, I feel like. And suddenly Mihu with a huge supply swing into his favor. He's up 20 supply now. And he's going to keep pushing. And I don't want to call it a blunder, but that was a bad fight for Zhanhun.
No. Call it like what it is. That was a throw. What the hell? Call it, brother. Call it.
All right. Let's be real about it. That was a very bad fight from Zhanhun.
That was like the worst attack I have seen in my life, and I've been like 20 years.
I think the nerves getting to him a little bit. This is the elimination match here, and it's game 5. And yeah,
brother, back in the days, you do something like this, you go to jail. I'll save you.
Yeah.
Okay, that was too much. I hit that. I apologize for that. I'm not calling names here.
It's all good. Yeah, no worries, man. But yeah, taking down this 12 o'clock base. We're now on even bases, which is always great for Terran. Picks off at least a couple tanks here on the bottom side, but I mean, the Terran is up 20 supply, which is never good for Protoss.
Wow. I don't know how we recover from that. Because on top of that, he transferred the workers, so he lose all those workers. I mean, to be honest, the worker count is quite high. But no tech units, no. What do we do?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard to find a comeback here for Zhanhun. He just doesn't have any tech going for him either, right? It's not like we have like Arbiters or...
There are literally like Talos and Dragoons.
Yeah. We're gateway men against a maxed out Mihu army.
Shuttles. We don't have shuttles to drop into the tank. Well, there is one. Okay.
Just have one single shuttle here. Zhanhun gonna go for it, but this is gonna be a very difficult position to dislodge. Gonna drop out these Templar. Get some Storms on the center mass of the tanks here.
Oh.
Does at least clear a couple of them.
The youngest
and
one?
Starting to maybe push this back, but we do have the reinforcements from Mihu joining us as well. Still a lot of tanks surviving here on the backside, but yeah, now that the Zealot meat is gone, the Goons are left alone. Goons against the tanks, never really going too well for them. Here come the Zealot reinforcements, but he might be able to clean this up, actually. They're just barely not.
Oh.
Man, that went about as good as you could hope for as Zhanhun. I mean, he does at least reset the army quite a bit. The supply actually even up quite a bit. The Terran was ahead in supply, and now it pretty much evened out, which is kind of crazy considering that was just a gateway man army, right? We were only 1-1 on the mech right now for Mihu. But yeah, he does survive with enough left over. Yeah, exactly.
And that's actually his only mining base, I believe.
Well, we get the Zealot bombs actually on these tanks, and it's gonna get cleaned up. I mean, Zhanhun trying to hold on. Nice mind drag there, too. Getting a little bit of splash. Another great mind drag, actually going to clean up 2 more of these tanks. Third tank goes down. I mean, Zhanhun doing everything he can to survive. He did finish a 4th Nexus on the left side, but the problem is we're just stuck in the scenario where it's 3 base versus 3 base right now.
I mean, if I was him, just maybe make 10 Archons. That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, he could try to sneak some Archons out. Probe transfer is going to get caught here. Even so, he can't even go minus 4th base like he wants to. Yeah, Archon's typically not great against Terran, but when it's like really scrappy like this and you're just hurting so much for resources, they're not terrible.
Nice storm.
Wow, great storms actually. Yeah.
Yeah, since that time, just make every high temperature you can. Well, Mihu actually taking a forest.
Yeah, that 4th base up and running is not boding well for Zhanhun. He's fighting to his absolute best. I mean, he's really scrapping it out and doing everything he can to survive, but it's just so hard when he's behind on Eco like this. Does get those tanks even. I mean, Zhanhun is making Mihu work for it, if nothing else.
Life is really interesting. This guy is showing us his best skills right after losing his whole army for nothing.
Right? Yeah, look how efficient he's been after that bad fight, right? Like, if he could just taken a better fight, this would be like such a winnable scenario for him, but as it stands, he's just falling further and further behind, despite playing really well from this point. Going for a little bit of a counterattack here, but preemptively pulled here from Mihu, gonna dodge the storms of these vultures. And GG, Mihu gonna take game 5. What a series. That was kind of crazy for both players.